I earn an average of around six figures from my children's books, and I am going to tell y'all how I did that. So, first of all, ever since I was a little girl, I had always loved writing and reading, and I would write short stories, and I always had a vivid, big, creative imagination. So, I always used writing as an outlet. So, as I got older, I continued to write and continue to express myself. My teachers would let me read my short stories and my poetry to the classroom, and I just continued to grow and fall in love with reading. So as I got older and being an adult, I worked in the wireless telecommunication industry, but I never ever lost that passion for writing. So much so that I got into songwriting and things of that nature. So while I was working my 9 to 5, I said, listen, if I'm going to work this 9 to 5 and move up in this industry, and I don't know if I said it already, but I was working in the wireless telecommunications industry and I was making pretty good money, had great benefits and things of that nature. But I was like, I wasn't really was I always had a desire to be an entrepreneur. So I really wasn't doing the thing that I loved. My 9 to 5 wasn't the thing that I loved, but I was appreciative of it. So I said if I was going to work and move up in this company, that I was also going to pursue something on the personal side to balance that. And that was my love for writing. So, what I quickly realized is that there was not a lot of individuals that looked like me in the traditional publishing space that was actually getting signed to traditional publishing companies to publish their books. So, for me, if I wanted my books to actually reach the bookshelf, I was going to have to embark on the indie route and self publishing. So, what I started doing was I started educating myself on the industry. So, I started doing research and gathering all of this information. So, I got all of the information, but I had no idea how to implement this information in order to actually put the books to life. So, I started investing in myself. I started investing in knowledge. So, I would attend webinars, I would attend seminars, I would attend anything that had to do with book publishing so that I could get a better idea of how this industry worked. So I took my knowledge and I started trying to apply what I learned, and it still wasn't enough. I realized for myself that I needed to work with someone in the industry, closely in the industry, that was achieving success, that had books, that was a self-published author, that was really living the life in the position that I desired to be at one day. So I invested in coaching and mentorship. And shout out to Crystal Swain Bates, who is my mentor to this day. I really learned so much from her under her mentorship and under her guidance. And I can truly say that was some of the best financial investment. Side note, if you want to get ahead and you want to learn how to do something right the first time so that you're not wasting unnecessary money, I would suggest that you invest in knowledge and education and work with someone directly in that industry to teach you the ins and outs and everything that they know. Okay. So that's what I did. And with all of the information that I was gathering on my own, and then all of the information that I had learned under this amazing mentorship, I was able to implement the knowledge because I have all the information. If you don't know how to implement it, there's not going to be a transformation. So once I started implementing everything that I learned, I was able to publish 7 of my children's books over various different genres in around 60 days. All of my books were not selling the same. I had a couple of books that were doing very well. And so, very well for me at that time was averaging about 200 to about $500 a month. And excuse me, the visibility that I was gaining was through me posting on social media and things of that nature. So, I was like, okay, if I keep this up, I could turn this into some real life changing money. So, what I decided to do was continue to publish and continue to treat my books like more of a business. Once I started to treat my books like more of a business, that's when I seen the sales increase. But then I also realized that as an author, I am a brand and that I can earn income in various different ways outside of just individual book sales. So I started pitching myself for speaking engagements, read alouds at schools and daycares because I found out that I could get paid. In addition to my book sales, now I'm averaging anywhere between $500 to $1,500 when I'm going in into specific venues and facilities to do read alouds and speaking engagements. I said, why stop there? I started reaching out to media outlets, newspapers, podcasts, radio stations that would allow me to gain more visibility. So now my income stream is over individual book sales, booking speaking engagements, and read alouds. And once I gained this visibility from media, it allowed other individuals that I never came in contact with before. Um, it made them aware of who I was, and they went out to purchase my books as well. Now, one of the biggest things that really was a game changer for me is that I noticed that like some of the schools and organizations that I was getting paid to do read alouds for, they were also buying my books in bulk. That means they were buying 50, 75, 100 books at a time. So I said, what if I focus? What if I take a portion of me being a brand as an author and just focus on organizations, period. And so that's what I did as well. So it was a combination, and it is still to this day a combination of things that allows me to earn that six figures. Now I have taken that even further, and I established myself as a professional publishing agency. So now I am publishing books for other individuals. That is another stream of income. So now, when individuals who don't have the time or the bandwidth to navigate through this journey on their own and they just want the convenience, they want that luxury of just paying an expert, they hire my agency and we do all of the work for them. In addition to that, I have individuals who do want to learn the ins and outs of this industry and master everything about it. And then they invest in my coaching, my self-publishing coaching programs, or they invest in my private mentorship programs so that they can have me right by their side, holding their hand, navigating through this process. And all of those things in combination is what has helped me be the six-figure earner that I am today and consistently earn those six figures. So if you are someone with a book idea, go for it. Okay. Do your due diligence. Write a great story. And another thing, I'm sorry, I know this video is kind of long. I wanted to make sure that my books were bookstore ready, industry standard. And that is why I went to these extents. I didn't just want my book to be something that was just thrown up on Amazon, KDP. No, I wanted my books to have a chance to be carried in libraries and bookstores and retail stores. And in order to do that, they have to be bookstore ready. So you have to put a little bit more time and effort into bringing those books to life. And that is what I did. And here we are today, me being a full time author. I am now an award winning best selling author. I am maintaining that six figures, and I am going to continue to scale my big brand as an author and my business as an author. And I'm very confident that if you follow these steps, you can too. If you have any questions about my journey, please leave it in the comments. Hit that follow button, share this with a friend, and I will see you guys in the next video.